Welcome to Prepare to Win, drive time tips on living and selling with excellence. Right, today's episode is going to be awesome. We're talking about navigating price objections. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to help you discover some proven strategies to handle price objections effectively and close without compromising your profit margins. Stay tuned.
All right, so Dave, I know we're talking about price negotiation, right? And objections are so common these days, especially when it comes to price.
Right, and so we know it's going to come, right? So buyers really, we know they have three fears, and one of them is paying too much. Nobody wants to pay too much.
I know I don't.
Right, and the way that we try to protect ourselves from paying too much is object. The price is too high, and in every sales industry they have that. In the car industry, we have the price is too high, the trade is too low, the payments are more than I expected, right? And so, are we prepared for that? That's really today's episode, talking about some real things we can do to effectively handle these and keep our profit margin, right? So this episode builds on last episode. And if you joined us for last episode, hopefully you've downloaded our one pager. We have them all the time. You can download after an episode. If you want to say, I'd like a recap of what was talked about today, you can download it. And in it, we have some of the key points and the takeaways, right? So in the last episode, we really talked about conquering negotiating, kind of setting the stage for a win-win agreement and the principles. I'll quick go over, and these are included in your download if you would download it so you can refresh yourself. Relationship and trust building, value and creating desire, resetting trade and price objections if you're in the car business, gaining commitment, transparency, and overcoming price objections. And that's why we're following up last week's episode with this one, right? So let's get into it. I think the first thing is what is an objection?
What is an objection?
What is it, right? What is an objection? Yeah, it's a feeling. It's not a fact. An objection is I don't want to pay too much. Right. And so an objection is a reason for not moving forward. Right. That's all it is. I'm not going forward because of this reason. And it's usually based on a feeling. So in the car business, we use market-driven numbers. Right. And the buyer uses feelings. I was hoping for, I do when I'm buying something.
I'm the same way.
Why wouldn't they, right? So I think going back and just saying, we're not going to get in depth on objection training on our dealership playbook and Automotive Sales Coach Facebook page and our Prepare to Win site. We have a lot of information around, because obviously objections are a big part of selling, right? And I do want to just review a couple things, though, to set the stage for our price negotiations and overcoming objections during them. And one of the things is that objections really are threefold. There's product objections, that's the right product. There's postponement, not today. And then there's, of course, I'm buying it, but I'm not going to pay that. Specifically, that's what we're talking about today. Right. And typically, they present themselves in a similar fashion. So it doesn't matter what you're selling, you're probably hearing the same type of price objections over and over. The cool thing about that is that means you can be prepared. Right. So to overcome a price objection, first of all, we got to be prepared. What is going to happen and why is it happening? That's really critical. That's the whole point of the dealership playbook, is to prepare salesman. And by the way, if you do those principles we talked about in the last episode, you are so much more prepared in the moment to overcome your buyer's fears of paying too much, what we call a price objection, and close. We call it a first pencil close, which is without negotiating numbers, right? And so, all right, so there's three types of three types of objection: product, postponement, and price. And in the car business, we really see three main price objections, right? What are they?
We got the price objection of just the overall car, right? Payment, and then trade.
Of course, right? The price is too high, the payments are more than I can afford, and boy, that's not enough for my trade, right? It's almost like we're programmed to say that as a buyer, aren't we? And in the past, we've always had to do that to get a fair deal. Now, the internet has changed the pricing models, and we're going to cover that in future episodes and how to set the stage for that. We talked about it in the last episode a little bit with resetting their expectations on price and discount. All these things kind of fit together, don't they? All right. So the buyer says to us, that price is too high, right? It's one of those things or whatever. So how do you effectively overcome that? Well, you just said an objection is a what?
It's a feeling.
It's a feeling.
Right.
So what should we do first?
Well, the first thing, we let them know that we heard them, right? I let them know that, hey, just because I'm a consultant does not mean we don't have the same feelings.
Right.
I get it. I'm the same way.
Right.
I think leveling with them and letting them know that we're the same, right? We're two different people, and we're also human at the end of the day. We all have the same feelings.
That's right. And don't we? All of us don't want to pay too much. And all of us see the price for what we want to buy. And we're like, oh my gosh, that's more than I thought it was going to be.
Right.
So what you just said was, let's talk to the heart first. I hear you. I understand you. You know what? I felt that way before.
Right.
Now, some of you that have been in the game for a while might realize the feel, felt, found turnaround that I just used, right? This has been around for hundreds of years. We didn't create it. I don't know who did it. I know how you feel. I felt the same way. Let me tell you what I found. We use a version of that in the playbook, an updated version of that. And I know how you feel is really called empathy.
Not sympathy.
Not
right?
sympathy. What's the
Two
difference?
different things.
What's the difference?
Sympathy says, hey, you're right.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Empathy says, I understand you.
So we're given definitions in a selling situation. Of course, somebody says, yeah, that is too high. I wouldn't pay it either.
Right. You're right. You are getting ripped off on your trade.
That's right. And empathy says, right, I know how you feel. I'm the same way. We all feel that way. So a strategy for overcoming a price objection and maintaining your margin has to include slowing down and absorbing their feelings, listening to them with your heart, and let them know, boy, I hear you and I understand you.
Right.
I'm also going to let them know it's okay. If I'm smart, I'm going to say, don't worry about it. Because if they like me, some people feel bad about bringing that up. You know what I mean? And they don't like conflict if they like you. And so they may bring it up in maybe a very hard way. They could be a little harsh with you. So, but we would agree, first thing, absorb the feelings, right? All buying the suit. I think we talked about this in the last episode, 80% emotion, 20% facts. This is how I feel. We're going to change how they see things, how they think about things, how they feel about things with facts. But the first thing is we have to acknowledge, I hear you. I understand you. This is critical. Can I tell you, I think it's the most critical mistake that salesmen make today.
In any industry.
Any industry. They jump right to just the facts, ma'am. Right? Price too high. Yeah, but. And now it's like playing ping pong. You're both trying to score on each other. That's not win-win.
No.
What we want to do is help bring the buyer to our point of view. That's what selling is. I think we covered that in the first episode, right? Selling is helping someone see your point of view and take action on it. That's really all it is.
Right.
I can't get someone to really listen to my point of view if they don't feel like their point of view is understood.
Right.
Right? So Stephen Covey's habits, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Of course, which goes all the way back to Solomon. He who answers a matter before hearing it is his folly and shame. We're teaching you the principles of living and selling with excellence that have always existed. And you see them throughout the centuries. All right. So let's get back. We've got empathy.
Right.
I hear you. I feel you. I understand. So we've talked to the heart. Now what?
Now I can talk to their brain.
Talk to their brain, right?
I'm going to use some logic, let them know, here's why the payment is the way that it is. Here's how we came up with that.
Right.
Right. Talk to your heart, make you feel open to hearing my side. And now I share my side in a way that still makes them feel like I understand them.
Yeah, that's awesome. So subconsciously, their brain is saying, yeah, you might feel good about this, but no, we said we wouldn't do this, right?
Right.
So the brain is telling them no. The logic is saying, yeah, but that's stupid, right? And we want to let them know it's not. Once we come talk to their feelings, we talk to the brain, say it's logical, actually. So we call that step in our training logic. You can call it whatever it is. Some people have called it justifying the price. I don't know if I like the terminology. I think we can update it and say that we talk to the heart, then we talk to their head, empathy and logic. And we can explain how our pricing structure, how we call it competitively low, but in your industry, who knows how you call it, but we talk about how we ensure we offer you a great product at a great price, right? Logic is critical to that, isn't it?
Absolutely. It definitely is. How about that?
Let me tell you a story I'm looking for a motorhome. I go to see this motorhome, and I kind of liked it. It wasn't what I was looking for, but I found it like, hey, this might be the right one. Right. So I said to the guy, what's your best price? Isn't that normal? Right? And here's what he said. His logic statement. Well, we just got it in. I'm not giving it away. If I don't make a lot of money on it, I'm not going to sell it. Now, what did that do to my heart and my mind?
Right.
It destroyed it. He told me a story. It's just a bad story.
Right.
Right? So we've got to have logic is really the story of pricing. And when somebody tells us a bad story, we feel bad.
We feel bad.
When you tell a good story, a logical story, people can say, you know what? That makes sense. That's the point of logic. So we're saying that when we get a price objection, there's kind of a formula, isn't there?
Absolutely.
So the formula is not what most people do. They start splitting the difference or going down, right? We'll talk about that in a different episode. But that's not the strategy, is to start to discount. The strategy is to show what? I hear you, understand. Empathy. The strategy is to give them a logical reason to say yes, right? But it doesn't end there, does it?
Absolutely not.
Once we tell them, hey, I hear you, and here's how we priced it, so it's a good price. I have confidence in it, so should you. And now what?
We redirect them.
Yeah.
And I think this is where we come into, we know that most buying decisions are emotional.
Yeah.
We talked about how 80% of them are emotional, 20% are logic. Right now, they're trying to take a logical approach.
Yes.
Right? And so instead of logic, I'm going to bring back in the emotion. Remind them, here's the whole package, and here's why this makes your life better. Whether I'm buying a TV, buying a car, buying a home, no matter what it is, this product makes your life better. Let's
Yes.
bring back the emotion to it.
Very why they're here to begin with.
Right.
So we call this redirecting back to value, the whole package, right? Now, part of that value can be logical. In a new car, it could be that warranty is going to save you money. That's logic
Right.
and emotion
And it's value.
combined. It's both, and that's value, right? So you're saying we've got this empathy. I hear you. I feel you. I know how you feel. And we've got this logic. You can believe in the number because it wasn't random, right? It was thought out. It makes sense.
Right.
I believe in it. You should too. And let's talk about what you're getting for your money. That's called value. We're going to have an episode on value, and you're going to hear that throughout Prepare to Win episodes. Value, value, value. Today, a lot of salespeople have fallen for the lowering of price as a way to close a deal.
Right.
Not just in the car business, but every time I buy a guitar, I notice that, or music. We see it all over.
All the time.
Right? And you guys,
I'm the same way.
Same way, right? So we want to train ourselves to be better than that.
Right.
And to be better than that, we're going to show empathy. We're going to have a great logic story, tell the story of pricing, and then we're going to help connect our buyer back for the whole reason they're here, and it's lifestyle. They want the product for a certain reason. They decided to come get the product because of what it would do for them, right?
Right.
Need, want, love, whatever, but we know it's a lifestyle and it fits who they are, right? We talk family, work, and play. How is it going to improve their life? So our third step, of course, is reconnecting them to the purpose of them being here, why they
Right.
want the product. And we can go in. There's so many pieces to this value story that we're going to do an episode on it. Don't want to spoil that, but I'm going to tell you, if you want a formula for overcoming price objections and closing first pencil or holding your margin in another industry, then you want empathy, you want logic, and you want to remind people of value. True?
Absolutely.
All right. So once we've done all that, we get them back connected, and emotionally they're back connected to why they're doing this to begin with. They see the value. This is what I'm getting for my money. And when
Right.
value exceeds price, they're ready to go. Now, what do we do then? Because so many people they will present or make a presentation and stop.
Right. We're not going to stop there.
We're not going to stop. So finish this formula up for us. What do we want to do?
We're going to reassure them, right? We're going to use our relationship that we've already built over the last however many minutes or hours, right?
Yeah.
Reassure them, hey, you're getting a great deal, right? This is a great package for you. And then, of course, re-ask them at the original number.
That's right.
Right? Take action. We're the ones leading the sale. We're the professional consultant.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to stop there. I'm gonna give my spiel and then move forward with the process.
Isn't that so important? So I think It's like running a race, jumping a hurdle, and stop running, right? So as we hit objections, we jump them and we keep running to the next one, right? Until we cross the finish line. And I think when I work on a price objection, a feeling,
Right.
when I do it properly and I build value, it's time to step back and say, listen, I think it's a great value for you, a great package, a great price, however you want to put it. You want to look them in the eye and reassure them, I believe. Can I tell you something? Confidence is contagious.
So contagious.
And when I look them in the eye and say, this is a great thing for you, that's going to help. If you're listening to this and not seeing the video, you see me shaking my head, right? if you're on video, but you won't see that on if you're just listening to it. But I'm shaking my head up and down as I do it. I am going to reassure them. People need that.
Right.
I feel like I do. I sometimes I'll ask a waiter, hey, I was thinking about getting this. Is that any good? Now, what a crazy question to ask. What are they going to say? No, the food sucks here, right? So it's a stupid, but I really want an excellent choice, sir. Right? That's
Make
what I
me
wanted
feel
to
good.
say. Make me feel good. Reassurance is really a key. It's that social proof kind of that we need to say, you know what, I'm making a good decision. And we can't stop there, as you said. We got to re-ask for action. I was told a long time ago that the buyer, no matter how good the deal is, will probably not take the pen out of your hand. And that's probably really true. And so I need to put the pen back in their hand metaphorically, maybe physically, right? Depending on what industry I'm in. But I need to reassure them and then ask them, so what, did you want me to wrap this up as a gift, or did you, right? If I was selling something over the counter, if I'm selling a car, then I would ask a different way. But I'm going to re-ask for their business, and how much concession have I made? Zero. So overcoming price objections and maintaining margin requires a plan, a proven plan. That's why we call this prepare to win. See, you can't win without a plan.
Right.
What else do you need? You need a great plan, which we just gave you. What else you got to have?
Preparation.
You better practice it. Because, okay, now you have the what to do. Put it in your words, right? Follow this empathy, logic, redirect to value, reassure, and what does that sound like coming in your words from your industry, right? And once you have that down, practice delivering it, right? We know people hate video themselves when it comes to their skill. They like videoing themselves in front of, whether they're on vacation or in front of their dinner. But when it comes to, right, but, that's a real benefit of practice, is being able to video yourself, look at it, and improve yourself. So we have the prepare to win requires you to have a game plan. We have that. You turn that game plan into skill through practice. And then what do you have to do?
Take action.
You got to take action. You got to play with abandon. We call it play with passion. And when I'm playing, I really don't think about what I'm doing. Why? I build my competence through practice.
Right.
I have to trust my competence when I'm in the game.
That turns into confidence, right?
That's it. It moves too quick to think about everything I'm doing. Now, if I haven't prepared, then I'm going to think about everything, and it's going to come off terrible. I'm going to, not professional, not skilled. It's going to cost me money. However, if I got a great game plan and I practice over and over till I know I can do it and do it well, not just follow the outline, tell the stories. Right. Connect the stories to the person I'm in front of, personalize the value to them. If I can do all that, why would they say no? That's what's in my mind. Now, I'm going to tell you something. This formula works, and it's going to help you. I bet you in the car business, we've watched it at dealerships double first pencil closes, meaning that the buyers that said no to the first numbers say yes once you've gone through this, once you take this play, right? Play number one, or step number one, empathy, logic, redirect to value. Number 4, of course, reassure. Number 5 now. We see buyers going, okay, well, that makes sense. I'll take it. We see it all the time. That's more than I thought I was going to do, but you've done a good job, and I want to go, right? We'll see a husband and wife said, well, it's right, honey. And they will discuss it and say yes. You see, you have just built a golden bridge for them to retreat on. This goes back to the art of war, build a golden bridge. What we want to do is give them permission to say yes. Right. And you just given them that. This will work. Play with passion.
Well, David, that kind of wraps up today's episode, right?
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us. I really appreciate that. Of course, our goal is to continue to help you guys and ourselves be better today than yesterday. So if we're a benefit to you, we'd love for you to like, subscribe, follow, right? Whatever we can do to continue just to serve you guys really well.
That's awesome. Thanks, Grace. And thank you guys for being with us. We appreciate it, as Grace said. And listen, the next episode, we're going to talk about the power of active listening, right? The secrets. We're going to help you uncover these secrets. Can I tell you something? The key to living and selling with excellence begins with listening. I can't wait till the next episode.
Me either.
We'll see you then.